Welcome on down to my toxic vault. What's going on, guys? Glad you could have your way down the vault today. With me here again is my buddy, Mr. Walter Morgan. What's up, Walt?
What's up, Zach?
How you doing?
Good.
We're down in the vault again. I saw it's all cool. Spiders hanging out. You walk down and
Yeah, we're getting to know each other
yeah,
good
that's
now.
I told you. It just takes time. Like anything, it takes time. Anyway, like I said, we're going to do a lot of things on the vault. Today we're going to do a record review. Again, not a review, just something we like talk about. And this is King Diamond's new live record. Walt?
Yeah, it's a new one. It's a live album from Philadelphia, filmed in November 2015. I think you're on that
I
tour,
remember
huh?
that well. We were. Exodus was the support band on it was the Abigail tour where he played Abigail in its entirety.
And that's in its entirety on this. Hey, Zet, do you think you could go to cameo.com and give my girlfriend a message?
Yep, I can send anybody's girlfriend a message. Go to cameo.com and I will do that for you. Abigail in its entirety.
And that's in its entirety on this.
I know, it is absolutely amazing. And
Hey, what did you think?
again, listening to the album back just brought me back to the tour. And any of you guys who saw us on that tour, chime in. We could talk about that and remind me of some stories of some stuff we did on that, because, you know, everything is open thing here. You know, we can go back and talk about this, but today we want to talk about this record. It's been a few years since we've gotten actually a studio album from the King. So this was kind of a good treat that we could get a live record from him. And being on the tour, it was a little bit more special to me because I'm the hugest King Diamond fan. To get to see him perform every night on, I think it was 27 date or 29 date tour across the United States. I think it was absolutely awesome to watch him, and his band works so well. He's been with Andy, his guitar player, Andy LaRock, for years.
Yeah, and Mike Weed.
Yeah, Mike has been with him for a long time.
Matt Thompson on drums. Pontus Egbert on bass.
Yep, all a very solid unit. I remember every night. And obviously Jody as Grandma. My girl Jody, she always plays Grandma. Well, if you go see King Diamond, it's quite
Very theatrical, huh?
very visual, and it's awesome. That's what makes the King who he is his love for horror and the element to present it live. And, you know, the way he does it with his stage set and interacting with Grandma. Jody plays Grandma. I love it. It's just so awesome. And I feel that this album shows how strong that album, Abigail, was, because of most of the King Diamond records. It's probably
That's their best known, I think.
my favorite King Diamond record is definitely Abigail. So to get to watch this every night was awesome.
And they play a couple Merciful Fate songs on it. They end it with and Danish heavy metal, of like horror heavy. I think this is more straight metal. It's not extreme. It's not thrash, but it's tasty. That's what
I
the
think
King does, right?
The riffs are very, honestly, really intricate. The guitars are very, always good and out front. King's vocals are bar none, top notch. You know, he's so unique. Nobody sounds like.
He's got an
the
operatic
King. I
vocal
remember
style.
the first
like
time I
nobody.
ever I've seen him in Merciful Fate a few times as a kid, but I just joined Exodus in 1986, and our first show outside of the Bay Area was at Fender's Ballroom in Long Beach, and it was Exodus and King Diamond. And there's an old picture that's floating around on the internet of all of us backstage hanging around the King. And it was the first time I got to meet the King, and I'm walking in the dressing room. We had went to dinner, and I walked into the dressing room, and he was in front of a mirror, and he was putting his makeup on. And I froze. I got so in awe, starstruck, because it was just so intimidating to me, you know. And all of a sudden he looks in the mirror and he sees me standing there. He's all, "Oh, hello." I says, "Hey, how are you?" He says, "Fine." He says, "You are the new singer for Exodus." I says, "Yeah, I'm Zetro." He goes, "Yeah, I'm King Diamond." I says, "Yeah, I know who you are." You know. So ever since then, we had this kind of he was always cool. Every time I seen him, it wasn't like he ignored me. He always made a point to come and talk to me, and that was on this tour as well in 2015.
And just think about that. His whole how he puts on the makeup and everything. Who was doing that back then? Not a lot of bands. And now you have that whole black metal scene. They're all doing it. They're influenced by that, right? I mean,
if other than Kiss, really,
right?
I mean, who was, it wasn't that. There was a couple of bands. I think Celtic Frost was maybe one of them, but even Venom didn't wear. Early Slayer, if you look on the back of
they were wearing
Show
makeup,
No Mercy,
though.
they've got eye makeup on. So it kind of evolved, but no, I think he was.
He's an original.
His whole uniqueness about the very satanic lyrically and very mysterious kind of mystique that the Kings always had to him. I think that's carried over now from Merciful Fate into King Diamond. But I enjoyed this record.
Hey Zet, what's happening with Exodus?
Well, I tell you want to find out what's going on with Exodus? Go to their YouTube channel, subscribe, and you'll find everything Exodus. Carried over now from Merciful Fate into King Diamond. But I enjoyed this record. I enjoyed listening to it all the way through. I respect this man and love this man to death. I got to know his wife, and I got to know he just had a kid.
She's a background singer for him, right?
Yeah, she does the background vocals
Livia
for him.
Zeta.
Yeah, Livia, and I just, it's awesome to get to say that he's my friend, and I get to know him, and I'm very fortunate to get to be in this business and get to play with all of these other players that are so, that I idolized even when I was coming up in heavy metal.
I got a good question for you. We know the King's voice is like none other than to Halford almost. There's very few of these voices that are so high. But over the years, how hard is it, Zet, to have that high voice going into your 30s, 40s, 50s, and whatever King Diamond's his real age is?
I believe.
Is that hard or what?
I believe he's in his 60s, and to still hold it. I mean, I'll give you a good example. I loved Led Zeppelin, and I love Robert Plant. But Robert Plant's voice in no way sounds like it used to sound when he was younger. And I don't know if it's as he's aged or he doesn't try to hit those notes. But man, back in the day and Want a Whole Lot of Love, he hits this high note on the end of the scream, and I never see him hit that range anymore. So, and as
not a lot of singers can keep
it's
that.
hard, especially as you get older. You don't get to change strings here. This is all we have, guys. This is all we have, people.
And a lot of bands change the tuning and bring it down because they can't hit the highs anymore, right?
That's true too, even though those tricks are the trades. You guys don't know. Songs sound the same, don't they? But we know different. Anyway, it's the truth. And so I have to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to sound like a pompous ass. I'm singing stronger than I ever have. So I don't know. You guys tell me, leave me comments. Let me know, man. I think I'm singing better personally. I feel better. So any other comments on this record, Walt?
I'd like to say this is a good, you get a lot of bang for your buck on this album because it's a long set and you have Abigail in its entirety and you got some other classics thrown in there. And the production rules for a live album, this is top notch. That's what really impressed me.
That's great. Well, like I said before, leave me your comments. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Horns up to King Diamond. Put them up, Walt. Horns up to King Diamond. We'll see you in the vault real soon.